Back to Celebrity Radio, it's Alex Belfield talking to some of the country's biggest stars, some of my favourite people, and we've certainly got one for you today. Peter Andre, how are you?
That is a lovely intro, sir. Yeah, very good. Good to talk to you.
I can't remember when we first spoke, but it's got to be getting on for 2 decades, hasn't it?
Impossible. I'm only 23. I hear these things all the time. It's not me. It wasn't me. No, yeah, it is. 25 years I got signed up, 25 years ago in Australia. Can you believe it?
And what I like about you, I'm a deeply unattractive man, but you're still delicious. How do you do it?
Yeah, but you're saying that because people can't see you. But if they could see you, that's not the comments you'd be getting.
You've got this fan base, which is so interesting. I mean, guys like you because they want to be you, because you don't irritate them, and women like you because you're a nice bit of trouser, and you're also a good dad. You've sort of got that magic combination in a way.
First of all, thank you. But can I just tell you something? It's really bizarre you say that, because back in the earlier days, in the 90s, when I was doing the music, guys certainly did not like me. I remember walking around in the streets and being called all sorts of things, and now guys are very cool. And actually, I think it's more the fact that they relate to you as a dad. I think that's what it is now, and it's really nice to be looked at as a family man rather than, you know, an image-based thing, because we're all getting old. I mean, I'm not saying you are, but I certainly am. So.
What's interesting as well, since you've put some clothes on, you and Barlow are about the same, that you've got this audience where people just seem to enjoy the music and they forget the fact that, you know, the six-pack's almost irrelevant now.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I built a rod for my own back, I did, by doing all those videos back in the day, and even though they were hugely successful and I was very grateful, you kind of always think, yeah, probably should keep my shirt on now, because you're never going to look exactly like you did then. You can try, and once a year I do my best with calendars and things like that, but the rest of the year, can you really be bothered, honestly?
It's a lot of hard work, isn't it? And I like carbs, that's the other thing, you know, it's a lot of work.
Oh, yeah, but listen, the Italians have been doing it all their lives and they look great, having pasta every day.
I don't want to get too gynecological with you, but I mean, have you still got the six-pack, or does it come and go depending on what time of year it is?
It hibernates.
Does it?
It hibernates, then comes out in full force. But even when I'm training my hardest, I still don't walk around with my shirt off. I'll do the odd shot, and I'll put it up because I'll feel great that day. But you'll never see me walking on the beach with my shirt off. It's just not. I'd always wear a vest top or a rash vest. I'm just not. I just don't. It's not. I don't know. I don't like it. Like I used to have a different kind of confidence. Now I just do it because it makes me feel good rather than, you know.
I wonder what's going on with men as well, because we look at Love Island, I don't see anybody who looks like me, and it's a great sort of bit of titillation through the summer, but I do worry young lads when I see them walking around with all the tattoos and that we're sort of putting a false expectation on them. Do you worry about how you come across even now? Because you're a handsome man, you know that.
Oh, mate, first of all,
I'm not flirting with you, by the way, Peter.
Well, I thought that was nice.
Not with my legs. It wouldn't work. I'm ginger as well, Peter. We'd look so ridiculous. We can't
Ain't
do it.
nothing wrong with ginger.
You know what they say? A rusty roof equals a damp basement. You don't need that.
You're good. Well, the thing is, Love Island. Yeah, look. These guys, 20 odd years ago when I was training, there wasn't a lot of that going on in the UK, I remember. It just wasn't the kind of thing. But now everyone's sort of into this fitness thing. There's one message to it that's good, which is keep yourself fit and active. But the other message is don't focus too much on how you're looking. But then again, how can I say that when 20 odd years ago, that's exactly what I was doing? So it's a bit of a tough one. But I think you know, that if we take any message out of it is, you know, keeping fit is good for you, more so than how it makes you look. But you got to enjoy your food. You got to enjoy your life.
I like low fat crinkles, cheesy puffs, Greg's pasties, things like that. You know, they're not good for a beach body. And it seems to me, having read this new research by Expedia, look what I did there, Slinky Link.
Yeah, well, I was just about to say, I was going to bring it back by saying yes, but have you been on holiday lately? I'm glad you brought it up. Go for it.
I go to places like Iceland and skiing, you see, so I can wear a mask so I don't scare the punters and keep me clothes on. But it seems like most people can't even afford a holiday today. It is ludicrously expensive, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, look, there are ways. I think one of the biggest problems of people is they spend all year saving up for their holiday, and then when it comes time to book their holiday, they're freaking out because they've got to book the hotel and the car and they got to do everything at once, and they're so stressed out by the time they get on holiday that by the time they finish their holiday, they need a holiday. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
And what I think, you know, with this new add-on advantage, what they're doing, Expedia doing, I think is brilliant, because they're saying you can book your flight early on, and even if you decide to book your hotel a month or 2 months down the line, you can still save up to 41% of the cost of that hotel. So actually what they're saying is take your time to book your holiday, so it's a lot more stress-free. Plus, of course, you get time to save in between each time you book something. So, you know, if you're going to book your hotel on your credit card, and then you might have a month or two to pay that off and save for the next part, which is the hotel, and they'll still have that saving there for you. So I think it's a brilliant idea, and we've got to understand that families do work hard, and families do deserve their breaks, and they do want to spend that time with their family. So we got to try and make it as easy as possible, and that's why I wanted to be part of this campaign.
You can go to Expedia online and look at all their special offers and all the deals coming through. I was talking to a mate of mine yesterday, Joe Pasquale. You were filming with him last week.
You know, he is one of the good guys in this industry, and I always say that. Lovely, lovely guy, very funny. Can I tell you a joke that he said once? We were live at the Palladium,
yes.
and I actually burst out laughing because I was supposed to be serious because Bradley Walsh was going to introduce me on stage, right?
Yes.
And I'm standing on the side, and Joe Pasquale comes down on these wings, and he's got to go and ask the audience questions. And he goes up to this lady who's sitting in the middle, and he says, "All right, darling, how are you?" You know how he speaks, lovely, love his voice. And he says to her, "Now look, it's very rude for a man to ask a woman how old she is. So how much do you weigh?" I mean, honestly, when he said it, I didn't expect it, right? With the whole place just... He's just one of these guys that's he's so funny. He's such a nice guy. Anyway, I thought I'd praise him because he's a good guy.
I throw the compliment back. The one thing I said to him was, I'm talking to Pete, and he said, he's one of the nicest guys in the business. It means a lot to be nice, doesn't it? Because word does spread if you're a bit of an arsehole.
Yeah, I think in this industry, it's, you know, you do come across a lot of people that are nice and a lot of people that aren't so nice. And there's this old saying, you know, back in the day they used to say if you were rude and arrogant, it kind of went with an image. But actually, that doesn't work anymore. No. And if you're somebody that's nice and you're respectful to people like my dad always told me to be, it doesn't mean you're not going to fail in life. But when you do fail, people aren't going to wish that upon you. And they're not going to kick you when you're down. They'll kind of lend a hand when you're trying to get back up again, and that's important. And also, you know, it goes a long way. You constantly have a smile on your face. A lot more stress-free, that's for sure.
Talking of smiles on your face, you never seem to be happier than you are right now. You seem to have the perfect family unit. How's that Emily doing? She's lovely, isn't she?
She's lovely, yeah. She's at work today. She's at the hospital. It's really great that I'm with somebody that when I come home, it's bizarre. Well, she'll ask me a question like, "Oh, how did your day go?" And I think, no, you've got to ask her first. How was your day? And she'll tell me about someone that, you know, was having a cardiac arrest and she had to go and rush in, and she saved somebody's life. And then she'll come to me and say, "So what did you do today?" And I just don't know what to say. I mean,
talk nonsense and sang a couple of songs.
It's not the same.
No.
She's a really lovely person, a kind person, and she's a great mum. So I'm very lucky.
What's beautiful about that is you could easily say to her, give it all up, but I love the fact that she loves it so much she carries on, because as you say, there's never been a harder time to work in the medical profession. The job gets harder, the jobs are relentless, there's little thanks, but she wants to do it. It's so special.
It really is. I mean, and my respect for her in that way is huge. I think she's doing a wonderful thing, as are all the doctors and nurses. We know that they're working very hard.
And then being a dad, I wonder what this means to you. It seems to me from the second we saw you on that reality show, which was so clever, this seems to be the thing you love the most. You'd give all this up, talking to idiots like me tomorrow, just to be a family man. You love that, don't you?
I do, and I remember there were times when I'd be doing interviews with people, and then when they would write the article, they'd be very sarcastic, and they'd say, Pete, and then in brackets, I love my kids, Andre. And they used to be very sarcastic about it, and I used to think, yeah, I can understand that for people who haven't got children or who, may not. But for me, that changed my life. The second I had children changed my life. My priorities changed, and I'm proud of that. And I think most parents feel the same.
Is it hard to balance the two, being a star and also being at home, because you can't do both at the same time?
Yeah, I think the balance is for any parent really is working and being at home, because you want to be with them all the time. You don't want to miss any of the key little moments in their lives, but at the same time you've got to provide for the family. So it's that whole kind of give and take thing. My parents worked so hard all their lives, both of them. They had 6 kids, and my mum, would still be she was a tailor, and she was a dressmaker, and she would make dresses in the day, and we would be sort of one on her lap and one hanging off her shoulder while she's sewing, and that's the way life was, so they made it work, so we can make it work.
Yeah, I think that was the turning point. When we saw that episode with you and your brothers and your mum and your dad, and things don't necessarily go to plan as life throws at you, that was the point, I think, where we realised the sincerity. Because when you do these fly on the walls, there's a cynic in us, isn't there, where we think, is it real or not? It was very real.
I've got to tell you, though, when I lost my brother, because we never, ever thought in a million years that we were going to lose him. We thought he was going to beat the cancer. That was the moment I thought I didn't want to do it anymore. The reality side of it, it was around that time. It just was too much. And I think up until that point, it was so wonderful and so positive. And then when something happens like that, it does change your mind on things. But they were wonderful times, and I enjoyed doing the show.
And you've got the videos to play forever. Yeah, the kids still watch the Dubai episode when they went to Dubai, so that's really nice. I love you very much, Peter Andre. You're one of the nicest people. You're one of the biggest stars. You'll be on tour from the 1st of September, and you can find out about going on holiday with Expedia. Just look up their special offers. Really lovely to talk to you again.
Thank you so much.
Cheers, Pete.
You too, mate. Bye.